All right, good morning and afternoon, everybody. So today's webinar is just internally. Hey, Gordon, if you can hear my audio good, send me a text message real quick. Let's do a sound check. All right, thank you, sir. All right, so today we'll get started. This webinar is internal and it's only for our TCs right now. So today's solution, we're going to talk about our video monitoring. New alert view features that's available for DSS Pro V7 only right now. So just remember, it's for the V7 version of Pro. It is not for the newly launched V8 version yet. So just keep that in mind. I'll go over some of the ideas in the licensing, and then I'll pass it over to Norman, who's going to help us to do some live demonstrations of the new features in our office. Okay. So I'll get started here. So, I mean, you guys are pretty much familiar with the background solution of video monitoring, how we're targeting, how that's one of our targets sales-wise. So just to recap, I know we've done this before, so this is just a recap summary. Why do we need video monitoring services? That's because properties are looking for a more professional monitoring service. So you're saving costs on this, having this video monitoring service, because you don't have to have hire the manpower to do daily or hourly patrols. So you're saving on the labor costs. And also with that, with our video monitoring service, it is a much smarter way to provide a remote monitoring service. So you can, let's log in. So so you can monitor multiple areas. So here's the basic core requirements on the rules for video monitoring. So using our software, you set your perimeter protection rules, which is your IVS, your tripwire, your intrusion. So the basis is when the intruder crosses the IVS lines and triggers the alarm, your central monitoring station will get the alarm notification. They'll be able to view the scene in real time, and they can take further action, whether it's a two-way talk with audio warning, or just calling the law enforcement right away. So it's very great for deterring crime before it even happens, because of the timely notification. So with that audio warning, with a two-way talk, you can kind of scare people off that way. And it is, as I mentioned, it is remote monitoring, so you don't have to be on site. So it is a safer and I won't say like a safer environment for the monitoring center person, since they're not actually on site. Okay, now our solution design. I guess you guys are pretty much familiar with how we set up our DSS. So our core setup is using our perimeter protection cameras, night color cameras, our active deterrence cameras, even LPR for entrance and exits, and video intercom. So those will all be connected to our DSS Pro V7 system. You can see here in that topology. So just the benefits again, you get the real-time confirmation, active deterrence, even with like cameras with strobe lights, or even the two-way talk. So you're having the damage prevention before it even happens. It is broader coverage with our IVS rules as compared to traditional sensors, and we get less false detections with our perimeter protection. Application scenarios for video monitoring. So we're talking mainly for the community residential properties or even commercial properties. Some of these are actually deployed in car dealerships. So after hours, you draw your perimeter protection lines across the dealership just to make sure nobody enters during off hours. This would be great for public storage as well. So in warehouses, so when you're setting up those IVS lines, you don't have to be there on site. You can be remotely from thousands of miles away. But once you get that, you'll get that real-time alert notification from anywhere. You guys pretty much seen these rules before. So in a residential application, even in my apartment complex, we have pools, but they have set limited hours so you can only go in from 9 to 9. So after hours, they don't want anybody causing troubles or having parties inside the area. So you won't have to have a guy standing there 24/7 to guard this area. you can just set up a camera with perimeter protection. And once those lines are crossed, then the alarm monitoring service can send audio notifications, to tell the people to get out during the off hours. Another great application that we have that's currently being deployed from some of our customers is guarding our these dumpster areas. So try to provide, avoid illegal dumping on these public areas, so residential areas, they all have dumpster areas, but they don't want people coming in, after hours to take up space, with dumping like beds or high heavy items such as washer and dryers and refrigerators. So that's another application seen. Main entrances, so we could use license plate cameras to actually do the license plate recognition on these vehicles that are entering the community. So the evidence is there for law enforcement to take further action. Same thing, so the fence intrusion. So this was like a similar application that can be used for car dealerships or any factories or schools for after hours, just to guard the area. Here's some more application scenes. Warehouses, parking lots, overnight parking where people have theft areas. So you can draw these using our perimeter protection to secure these areas. This is just more of the car dealership that we have our solution deployed. So this, they draw lines around the vehicles and have it activated at night. And for video intercom, this is you're just using. Okay, so our platform feature. So we have a centralized management for DSS. Okay, so one central portal. We have the new alert view. So these are the new features that Norman will demo. So alert view, event center, and alarm maintenance report. So I'll kind of talk through it briefly, but then you'll see the live demo at the end. Before I jump into that, there is a license to activate that alert view monitoring module. So here's the license model number that needs to be purchased. On top of that, your customer will need that base license, which is a prerequisite. So they need both licenses those to be activated. And this is the MSRP pricing in US dollars. So again, both licenses are needed. So centralized management, this is, I think it'll be better once you see it live on the demo. So I'll just quickly go over, the flexible device management. So you can support all types of devices from any location and time zone. So it supports like the multiple time zones. So you can help locate precise videos related to alarm events. If you give this to a customer, they can actually customize the incident types. So here you will enter the types. So you'll be like theft, crime, or perimeter crossing. So you can actually manually enter what kind of report that you need. You can also customize a Tesla logo. So if your customer has a logo for their video monitoring company, they can actually input that test logo. So once you generate a report of the incident type, then the logo will show up. Okay. And then for the customer management, you'll just see a record of everybody that's been added to the alarm report. So whenever the alarm is triggered, it'll be a daily report of what's happened, and the name of the customers, and the full report. Okay, now there also is an alarm overtime processing notification. So you can set these thresholds in the UI of the DSS Pro. So remember, for the DSS Pro V7, you actually have the web login to set up and configure your devices, which is different from the V8 version. So Norman will go over these in the live demo so you can get a better feel. Okay, now there's a new alert view window. So what this is you can set each window as an alert view. So it'll end up, being a blank screen, as you can see here. But once an event happens, you'll get a pop-up notification with the live video asking you, something's going on. So if a perimeter protection line has been crossed, then it'll get an automatic pop-up. Okay, and now once that pop-up happens, there'll be a blue button on top, which is the alert view. So you can go into that, and that's a different window. So this will be your alert view window, which is like a real-time display. So every camera that's connected within that network scene will pop up. So when Norman does the demo, you'll see that pretty clearly here. You also have the deterrence actions. So you can, it also supports PTZ control within the UI itself. And then alarm processing, that's where you would start your report. So you can start a report, define the incident type. So you customize what kind of an incident it is. So you can customize that by writing like intruder, illegal behavior, or false alarm. And you can generate a report. And then once you can export that report into a PDF that'll show screenshots and details of the incident type, dates, location, start time, and it'll also show your screenshots of what happened during that time. And you also do events queries within the event center itself. So you can filter your events by incidents. Just examples that you can put in. So these incidents can be customized within the V7 web interface. So we'll show a demo of that. And you can also export these alarm reports. So this is what the alarm reports will look like once it's been generated. So that test logo, so this is going to be a customized logo from your customer here. I'm showing the date, time, the incident number, start time, and what type of incident that actually happened. So this is a PDF printout. And you can also do weekly reports within the alarm maintenance report button that's in the UI. So for this, your customer can choose a set period of time and review the types of reports that happened during that time. So you'll see statistics of devices by like the ratio of which devices by week, by time. You can also select the different time periods to view specific events, and you also can do the export reports as well. So you can export these into a PDF. Now the dashboard is another feature inside the alarm maintenance window. So it'll show the statistic counts of different events, and it'll display their ratio. So in this example here, so these are all the alarms that went off. So here 54% was for people cross zone, and then 32% was for motion detection, and then 13% is for tripwire. So you can see what types of events and the ratio of what's happening in this window. Okay. Now it also supports the displays the number of alarm sites ranking. So what that means is if you're supporting multiple communities, it'll show you which community has the most issues in alarms, so you can attend to that area. Okay, now let me change the presenters to Norman, and he will do a live demonstration of the alert view alarm maintenance center.
Yes, thank you very much. So yeah, can you hear me now? Can everyone hear me, please?
Maybe? Yeah, I can see your screen. I can hear you.
Yeah, perfect. And you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's very nice. Thank you. Okay, so here I'm going to make you a live demonstration of our latest version of Alert View. So first things first, there's something that I want to draw your attention to. We are going to take a look at the web page of this version. So to be honest, there is not too much change in this version of the software, especially in the web page. Let me open this for you. Okay, so this is the homepage of the DSS Pro and also for our large view version. So if you go inside, oh, I'm going to, oh, yeah, much better. Okay, but there is a place, there are some parameters that have, I mean, some improvements is here in the system. In the system, you will notice that we have added incident type and logo picture update. So these are the major changes. These are the major changes in the new system. So I'm going to introduce you one by one. So first is the incident type. And now inside this alert view version, we have added a new dimension so that we can filter the events more efficiently. Because in the past, we usually configure the events in the event center, and the types of the events have been fixed. You can only choose from them. You can't customize them. But now with the newer version of the software, you can customize the incident type all by yourself. So here you can add as many incidents as you need. For example, I'm going to here add something just for a demonstration, like a pet alert. Okay, why do I add this? This is completely customized. It is all up to the customer. And if he thinks something is very important and he wants to show it, he can add it right here, like a pet alert, for example, like, okay, radiation. Okay, something just like that. Anything he wants, he can add it right here, and he can use these incident type tags to search for the events in the future. This is a new customized dimension for customers to use this alert view software. So this is the first change of the web page. And the second is that there is a logo picture update. So you can update, you can upload. This shouldn't be update, it should be upload. You can upload a picture as you wish, so that this picture will be shown in every report generated from the system. So I'm going to show you a demo report. For example, it's right here. As you can see, this is a report and there is a logo attached to it. So this is pretty much where you do it. And this logo is for web. Because this software is used by the alarm maintenance companies, and they want to generate some reports to show to their customers, and they want to attach their logo right on the reports. So this is where they upload the logos, and they are going to do the thing. Something just like that. It's not complicated. So these are the major two changes on the web page of the DSS alert view. That's pretty much it. But what's more important is that we have the incident type. This is something more. This is a new dimension. This has simplified the workflow of the monitors, the operators. Okay, and here we have the client, the DSS Pro client of the large view version. And this is the homepage of it. And from this homepage, you may notice that there are two models, two new modules, the alert view module and the alarm maintenance module. So this is pretty much very easy. So the thing is, alert view right here, okay, is not something that we click to use. I will show you later. So the workflow is during our daily operation, the operators in front of the screen will receive many alarms. And most of these alarms are false alarms. They are not the real alarm. They are triggered by something else, like triggered by a pad, triggered by a leaf that is falling, is triggered by the light. These are not what we want. What we want is like there is a human, there is a man that is trying to access a place illegally, or there is a vehicle that is, breaking some rules. So this is the alarm that we want. To filter this alarm, we need the operators to sit right in front of the computer and to look at them, and then they can filter it. And then they will have the alarm information and they can deal with it. And with so much information in the future, they can, have the statistics to generally look at everything they have had in the past period, like a week, so that they can generate a report. So I'm going to show you how the system works for now. So let's go to live view. This is pretty much where we do the alert views, And as you can see, this is a 8x8 window. It is customized by the South Africa because they want the live view window to be 64 by default. But here to show you, I'm just going to activate one of them, maybe 4. Okay. So here, well, we have the normal live view, but it hasn't changed a bit. It is just the normal live view that we have. But if you right click a window, you may notice that we have a new option, set alarm window, which means that you can nominate one of these windows as an alarm window. So what will happen when we do this? Let me show you. So set alarm window, when we do it, well, you will see that there is a red frame around this window, and when there is alarm that has been triggered, it will be shown right here. So all we have to do now is to wait for the alarm to be shown. Someone has to trigger the alarm first, or we can see it. Okay. And as someone is trying to trigger the alarm, let me show you the configuration of the alarm of the events. So here we have the web page of the event, and we can add the events. Okay, someone has triggered the alarm. That's very nice. And you can see that when someone has triggered the alarm, the window will just go red, and you will have the information, you have the live view, and you will have a blue button called alert view. By pressing this button, you will enter a new page. But I will not show you now because I want to tell you, after 20 seconds, when there is a channel being shown in this square and you have done nothing, it will disappear after 20 seconds. Because an operator sitting in front of the screen is responsible for telling if this is a real alarm, if this is a true one, if this is something that he wants to deal with, he's going to press alert view. If this is not something that he wants to deal with, he's going to, just turn off the window or wait for the window to disappear, something just like that. And if you really want, this channel, the alarm of this channel to be shown on these squares that you have nominated as set alarm window, you should configure something else. It is in the alarm contingency here. Open alarm video on clients when alarm is triggered. You have to configure this one, and right here, you have to configure, in preview, these two parameters should be turned on, something just like that. And now we're going to wait for another man to trigger the alarm. And while we are waiting, there's something else I want to share. The deployment of the system is exactly the same as the baseline. There's nothing else, there's nothing more that we have to do. Okay, and I see now someone has triggered the alarm. Yeah, and I think that this is something that we really need to deal with. So I'm going to press this button, alert view, and now we have entered the new interface. This is alert view. So if we, go inside the home page and press alert view, we may also enter this page, but no alarms will be shown right here. The only way that you have this interface is that an alarm is triggered in live view, and you press alert view to enter this interface, and then you will have basically everything you need. So what do we have here? Let me show you one by one. So this is the, first is this main window. It shows the channel whose alarm has been triggered. It will be shown right here, but you may also have some sub windows. Well, what is this for? This is to show the other channels under the same organization. Let me show you. And this is quite interesting, here in the homepage of the DSS, we may have a module called organization. Where is organization? It's here. Okay. So as you can see that the alarm, the channel whose alarm has just been triggered is this Irvine 001. It is right here. It's okay. And under the same organization, we have some other devices who have different channels. And in this case, if you have turned on this one, auto open alert view video, this is actually a wrong translation. But if you turn on this option, the other channels will also be displayed right here in the alert view window. This is because when you want to really locate someone, when you want to know what he's doing and where he is going to go, the road that he might escape from. And this provides you with different angles and different time and different places and different, it provides redundancy. It tells you from different angles what this man is doing and where he's going to go. Something just like that. This is something that's quite interesting. And just for your information, we can display 64 channels maximum right here. Okay, so but the layout or the plan, it is random. It is decided by the system. You can't customize it. This is something I really need to tell you. Okay, so that is all for the left part of the large view, and for the right part, okay, we have the upper one and the lower one. We're going to start with the lower one because it's simpler, I suppose. So if an operator he has found an alarm in the live view and he wants to deal with it, he can just start from this start event button. I'm going to deal with this alarm, so I'm just going to start the event. As the moment you click on this button, you will notice that some other buttons have been activated, like the browser or the picture location. But most importantly, you have the continuous snapshot, which means that you can take snapshots of the alarm as you wish. There are two ways that you do it. First of all, is this button snapshot is the same as the baseline. You just take one photo. But if you want to take some photos continuously, like every photo per 2 seconds, you can, select your time interval right here and start by this button. And every 2 seconds, one photo will be taken. Yes, and the moment when you want to stop it, just turn it off and you will have all these photos. Okay, so this is the first, the first step to deal with an event. You have to take some photos as proof. This is very clear. And the second step then is that you have to choose the incident type. So this is something that we have added for new. As I have just explained, you can configure the incident type as you wish on the web page by the customer, because we provide different angles, we provide different comments to better describe an event. And here you can find that the pattern alarm that I have just added. So this is pretty much for this function. It is very easy to use, and this is a new dimension for the customer to filter all these events in his own way. I'm going to just mark this person as TNT because he has, brought many dangerous bombs. I think it's very dangerous. So I'm going to just select the TNT one and I will write something. But this is completely as you wish. You can write anything you want, like how you have dealt with this event, how this person is dangerous, and why this person should be dealt with, something just like that. So I will just write very dangerous, something just like that. And in the end, I will press end the event. And by this time, this event has been dealt with completely, 100%. It's been dealt with and it is been archived. And if you want to generate a report of this single event, you may notice that there is another blue button has just been activated right next to the start event button. You press this button and you will find all the pictures that you have just taken manually. And it is up to you to select some pictures that you want to show on the report. For example, I'm going to just take pictures, this one and this one, because I think they can, represent this whole event. So these 3 pictures I have just chosen, and I will just press export. Okay. And I'm going to select save this report on desktop. And now we have the report. Let's take a look at the okay. So there are some information that I want to share regarding this report. So first of all, the title is the daily set report is okay by default, and this is Lake Forest. Why is it Lake Forest? Because I have configured this organization to be named as Lake Forest. This is the same as the reality, and this is the time zone. for this time zone, I'm going to explain this to you. So in the alert view DSS Pro, we have also customized something called the time zone. I'm going to find the camera. Yeah, right here. After adding a camera to the platform, you can actually manually configure the time zone of this device, and you may also configure the daytime saving time, daylight saving time. Why? Because I have to say that there is a flaw. There's a flaw in the DSS system. Actually, it's not the flaw of DSS. It is a flaw of Dahua cameras. You cannot, just because the time zone information stored in the cameras cannot be read directly by DSS. It cannot be remotely configured, and you can't just use the configure tool to configure the time zone of the cameras, like 100 cameras at one time. You have to configure these cameras one by one. This is actually a big problem for the project deliveries. So in the DSS alarm version, we have added this function so that you can configure the time zone right on DSS, and the DSS will use this information to show the right time when the event happened. Okay, this is something that I want to highlight here because it is really a specialist of this software. And if you haven't configured this one, and it will be 0000 by default. Okay, so this is something else I want to show you. And here let's go back to report. So this is the time when this event has actually taken place. Okay. And now we have, it's the test logo that I have just uploaded. It can also be customized. And here is something else. First is the incident number. This is generated by the system. Officer, the officer is the same, as the user of DSS. It's okay. Date and time. There's start time and end time. The start time, it means the moment you click the start event button. The end time is the moment that you click on the end event button. These are the two parameters. We also have the incident type, something that you have just chosen by yourself, and the incident description, like something that you have just written, is like very dangerous. It's exactly the same as what I have just written. Okay, so these are the pictures that have been shown on this report. So this is pretty much everything for this report, and for each event you can generate a report like this. But sometimes when you have finished dealing with an event, you may forget to generate a report, or there are too many incidents going on at the same time, leaving you no time to generate a report. What should we do? Under such a circumstance, there's nothing to worry about because you have just dealt with the event, so it has been archived. We will just go to the event center and look for that event. We go to the query alarm, and we select the channel is the L1001. And here, right here, my friends, you may notice that we have the incident type right here. This is the new dimension. This has really helped our customers to filter the events in their own way. So as you remember, that is the TNT event, and let's just press search. Okay, here you will have the same alarm that you have just dealt with, and right here you will have an, okay, voila, you will have the export report. So this is something that I really want to introduce you inside the event center. Something we have just added. First of all, you can search the events via incident type. You can filter these events precisely, and you can export a report after you have dealt with something. So this is pretty much for the event center. Okay. So this is the alert view. It's not difficult at all. So I think there is something else that I have not introduced yet. It is this part. There's a name, email, remark, context. What is this for? So I'm going to introduce you later because there's something else I want to show you first. It is this one, the alarm maintenance. So what is this alarm maintenance for? It is that you can use something called the dashboard to generally look at a station, look at a an organization, how many events have happened in a certain period of time. For example, I'm going to see from June 20 to August 20. So all these events have happened, and the percentage of these events, the proportion, well, not percent, proportion. Okay, so this is for the first part of the picture. It will tell you how many events have happened and the proportion of these events. So this is for the first part. Okay, it's pretty much easy. Okay, and for the second part is that you will have the site alarm system. What is this for? For example, let's press Lake Forest, and you will have a chart. Okay, it is going to show you the tendency of the events during a certain period of time. The amount of these events is going out, is going up, and is going down. And at the 3rd August, the event is skyrocketing. Oh my God! Because this day I have added a new camera. So this is why there are so many events in this day. So this is the flow. This is a tendency that will clearly help the customer to know which date is more dangerous and how the events are going, something just like that. This is the site alarm system. It's quite easy to use. Okay, so this is for the part 1 and part 2. And for this part 3, we have something called the operator performance analysis. What is this operator performance analysis? Well, imagine that we have a security company, and I have hired 3 operators to deal with all these alarms that have been triggered by the cameras. And I really need to know how many alarms that each operator has dealt with, okay, during a period of time. So this is actually, a list to show what an operator has literally done during a certain period of time. So let me show you something. Okay, when there is someone else that will trigger the alarm, it's going to be quite easier for me to do this. Okay. So everyone, just remember now the number is 46. It's 46, and when I deal with another alarm, the number will be 47. The number will be 47. Okay. Let me deal with it very quick. It's intruder. Okay. Okay, now I have dealt with a new event, and the number is still 46. Why? Because there is cache in the system. I'm just going to exit and re-log in, and you will just find out that the number has just become 47. Yes, let's go to the alarm maintenance and go to the dashboard, and you can see that the number has just become 47. Yeah, so this is something that the boss of the security company uses to know how their operators are doing their job. They are doing it good or they're not doing it good. Okay, the average percent processing, it means that to deal with each event, how much time on average has an operator used to deal with a single event. This is this parameter, average processing duration. Okay. So this is the first so this is the upper window on the right. So there is another the lower one. This is the site ranking by alarm frequency. Well, let me show you something. Here we have 2 organizations, the Lake Forest and the kindergarten. For example, I am the boss of a security company, and I have 2 different clients, Lake Forest and kindergarten. And I want to know how many events have happened in those 2 areas during a certain period of time. So here is something that will clearly show me how many events have just happened. Lake Forest, it is, oh my God, it's 16,000, too many. Kindergarten, also just 1,000. There is a mark of a trophy or a championship right here. This is not really appropriate considering that the alarms are not so good. So I have submitted this one to the headquarters, and they were going to change this logo. The area that has the most alarms should not be awarded. The championship is not good. Okay, so this is pretty much for the dashboard, and you have pretty much everything here. You have the proportion, you have the statistics, you have the alarm, the flow, the tendency, and you also have the operator performance analysis. You can actually export this report. Export or export. This is an Excel file, and you can use this for administration purposes. Let me show you. Okay, something just like this. It's not complicated at all. And finally, the site ranking by alarm frequency. Okay, so this is the first one. Is this the dashboard? I think this is quite easy to use. And for the second part is the part something that we call a customer management. So how do I explain this? Okay, so I have two different organizations. Like this organization, I am just someone that is responsible for the daily operation of a security company, but my clients, they are very important, and I want to archive them so that I can generate a report for them, or I can manage all this information altogether, something just like that. So I can actually add a customer and allocate the channels to them. For example, first of all, I will add a customer called this Frank. Okay, Frank. And I think Frank has all the cameras in Lake Forest, and I will just press OK. And for my information, I may also add the email address, like the frank@gmail.com. I'm pretty sure that this email address has been registered. Okay, the context, you can add a phone number like 110, something like that. If the remark is actually, for example, very dangerous, man, it's as you wish. And you press OK, and Frank will be added right here with all this information that you have just written as you wish. And I will add another one, it's called Underwood. Okay, and Underwood has all the cameras inside the kindergarten, and this one is context, the 110, and he's okay, and the remark. Okay, so I have the two different customs added to the system. So this is merely the first step. What do we do with this one? So let's go back to the live view, and I will show it to you. Okay. So as we are waiting right here, I just want to tell that this system, and the core function of this system is to help the customer to reduce the false alarms, because there are so many false alarms, so that we need someone to sit right in front of the computer and to tell if this one should be dealt with. And if this has to be dealt with, we just click alert view to deal with this event. And here you can see that the system knows that this channel belongs to Mr. Frank. So the information of Frank is shown right here. So this is why we need to manage the customers, or why we need to archive them, because we want to know which person should be notified when something is really severe, something just like that. It's just for your information. It's as you wish. Okay, so this is pretty much the first part if you want to manage a client. And the second part is the maintenance report. So as you can see that we have different names of the customers. It is a list right here, which means that the different customers have different channels, and different channels have different alarms. Different alarms mean different information, and certainly they will want a report, for example, on a weekly basis. Here you may select a duration whose report you want to generate, and it can only be a duration of a week, a natural week, actually from Sunday to Saturday. If a week is not finished yet, for example, today I think it's 20, you can generate a report of this week because it is not ended yet. It has not ended yet. You can only generate the report of the last week. Okay, for example, this is the date of the last week, and I want to see the report of the clients. I want to see the report of Frank, so I will just click this button. This means operation. I think this is not a very clear clarification because it's not operation. It's that I want to see the report right here. Yeah. So here is something that we have. First of all, you have a logo. So you have noticed that this logo appears in every single report that we generate on the event report and the weekly report. So please make sure that the customer chooses a very beautiful one. Yeah. So this report, and you will also have the device online status. It's shown like it is shown by the percentage, by proportion. It's a number of events. Yeah. So as you can see, these are the number of events of each day in the week. Okay, you have two different ways to know these numbers. First of all, you have a chart, and second of all, you have a table. Oh, yes, you have a sheet. Perfect. And thirdly, you will have some screenshots. There is an algorithm that controls these screenshots. Something I just want to tell that these screenshots are not chosen by operators or individuals. These are completely random. The system will choose the screenshots on its own. There is something I want to show you is that, okay, event screenshots. Oh, this one is very interesting. For example, we only have one type of event right here. So the system is only going to choose one screenshot for event screenshot parts. This is not reasonable. I have submitted some information to the headquarters, and it's quite important that the customer can choose the pictures on their own because they are the only ones that know which pictures matter. Okay, there's something I want to show you, and let's go back to this week. Maybe we have better reports. Yes, now we have better reports. Because this week we have 3 types of events. So as you can see that this picture seems much more diverse. And for the event screenshot, we have 3 pictures right here. Okay, we have 3 types of events, and we have 3 screenshots for event screenshot part. And this is not reasonable at all because these 3 events are configured in 2 different channels, but these 3 pictures are actually of the same channel. So this is something that's not reasonable. What's really important is that the customer can choose the pictures all by their own. This is what it's supposed to be. So this is a report, and you can export this report all by your own. Okay, the report has just been generated. It's right here. It is a PDF, and I think it's just a large picture, which you can't edit. Okay. So I think this is pretty much for all the functionalities of the video monitoring system. The basic logic is that, first of all, the basic logic is that, first of all, we are going to add some incident type because this is the major advantage. This is the major improvement of this system. This is the core function. If we don't use incident type, this system is nothing. Yeah, literally nothing, because if there is no incident type, you can't even select anything right here, which means that you can't deal with an event. So this is it. This is the new dimension, and you can generate different reports with a logo that you will customize. Okay, and you will add some events as usual, as how you do it on the baseline software. The only difference is that we now have live view. we now have alert view. Set an alarm, set a live view channel as the alert view channel. And when something is triggered, you will receive the alarm right here, and the operator who sits right in front of the computer will determine if this alarm should be dealt with. If it should be dealt with, this alarm will be transferred to alert view, and you will start dealing with it. And after you deal with it, you can have a report of this very event. And after a week or certain period of time, you will have the dashboard showing all this information during this time. And you can generate some reports for different customers. So this is how it works. This is for a security company to manage different customers who have different channels at the same time. He will hire some operators sitting in front of the computer to tell if this event is real or not real, so that he can deal with it more efficiently. These alarms are the true alarms that we want to deal with, not the false ones. This is it. And after this, a certain period of time, the security company will generate some reports for its customers. So this is pretty much the logic of this video monitoring DSS. So I think this is the, and let me check if there's anything that I have missed. Okay, so I think this is, pretty much it. So if you guys have any questions, now is the time to ask it, or if you have any question in the future, you can just send me an email. So do you have any question, guys?
So guys, if you have questions right now, please use the raise hand icon and I'll unmute you. Or you can enter a question in the chat box. Going once, going twice. Bueller.
What is Alex doing? Oh. Okay, thank you. So I think it's the, pretty much for this demonstration. And if you have any further questions, you may just send an email to me. I am welcome to all those questions in the future, because the program is actually still under development, and we need the efforts from everyone to help improve the quality of this software so that the customers can be more satisfied in the future. So I think this is pretty much it, and I'm going to, end the screen sharing. Is that okay, Edwin?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, we're done here. Thank you so much, Norman.
Yeah. Thank you. Right. Thank you.
If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Norman and I or Andrew. We'll get back to you regarding the new alert view on DSS v7 Pro. Thank you.